about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.
I don't know. That was great sounds of Watts with Outside on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, with my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City, Maine, Mr. wThe BlueZ is in the building and joining us for our bi-weekly edition of Just Nerd Banter. The great, the intelligent, the positive, the extraordinary Professor.
Yes.
I'm working on intros. I'm working on it.
I like it. I like it.
That wasn't bad. I like that, actually.
I'm working on these intros. I'm working to make people feel good about this whole thing that we're doing. This three nerds venting type of feeling that we're doing right here on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. So let's just get to it. Let's talk about cartoons. We all love them as our youth. Kind of hurts to say this now.
I still watch them now.
But you know,
same.
Saturday morning cartoons. They're really a big highlight on all three of us just growing up.
Right.
Yep.
Should they make a comeback just with streaming and just with everything on demand right now, and really cable TV really holding itself together to remain relevant within today's society? Should they come back, and if they come back, will they fit with today's generation, or will they just be a nostalgic feeling just through us in general? We're talking about millennials, Gen Z, Gen X, as I should say, and just beyond. You know, I just want to get everyone's thoughts and opinions on this as we go throughout this nerd banner throughout this whole episode.
Well, I don't think they'll make a comeback in the traditional form, because no one really sits around on a Saturday morning anymore and gets their bowl of cereal or anything like that. What I would love to see would be maybe an app, like the Saturday morning cartoon app.
Okay.
Where it has 24-hour kind of streaming of those, the stuff, and you can have new material come through as well. But I think that's the only way it would fit in today's technological society. See like maybe a TikTok channel.
It's fair. That's fair. I'm with that. That's fair. That'll work well. Professor, your thoughts.
It's funny you mentioned that, because there is something like that. There's this guy that Black Nerd Comedy. I see him on YouTube, and he was doing a show about that. One of his YouTube episodes was about that. But there is something like that, and it's all the nostalgia. It's all the stuff that we grew up on. Is on this channel, and I apologize. I should have done some research and got the right name for it. Right. But it's something like that does exist. I do agree that because I know my own kids, they don't get up in the morning on the weekends. So it would be wasted having like a timed thing where it's like only in the morning. But yes, having access to them 24/7 is definitely something that is definitely needed. Especially like, when they bring back some of the older stuff, and it's fun to watch, for me. Like I would definitely watch something like that, because I do go on the YouTubes, and I do look for stuff sometimes, so yeah.
I would totally be down for like a Rescue Rangers reboot, or the DuckTales reboot was okay, but Rescue Rangers, I would love to see that a reboot.
Yeah, that would be cool. But even some of the older stuff, like the Rickety Rockets, or the the Hong Kong Phooey, or I mean, that might be problematic, but some of the older stuff would definitely, I would definitely love the Brown Hornet. I would definitely love to see something like that kind of reboot, and be exposed to the kids now, because I think some of the older stuff just had that magic. That just it was nice, and it was wholesome. It was it was fun, and I think that's where a lot of the newer cartoons kind of miss the mark. They're not as wholesome. It's all it just doesn't work for me. I mean, I think that's why I love anime so much
Right.
because some of the stories and stuff that's in some of the anime shows that I watch, it's a little more wholesome, and and it's like teaching a lesson,
Right.
and so, but no, I don't think a Saturday morning thing would work, but I do think having a channel and having kids have access to some of the older stuff, I think that stuff that would definitely work, and I'd watch it. I know I'd watch it.
You might be the only person I have ever met that has been like, I watch anime because it's more wholesome. I've seen some of that anime, sir. I have seen
There,
some of that anime,
listen,
sir.
listen. Some of that stuff is a little bit wild, and some of it's inappropriate for kids, but some
Some
of
of
the
it's
life lessons.
inappropriate
Oh
for
man,
adults,
that's
bro.
Yeah,
funny.
well, that's facts.
That
That's
is funny.
that's
Oh, that's
facts.
hilarious. Oh my goodness. Just by listening to both of you, because both of you are parents and you deal with children, so you understand their minds, especially today. I do agree with you. I do agree with you. I was on the fence about it. I was on the fence about it because like it always takes that one show or that one series, no matter what outcome where life is, people will go out their way to see it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But we no longer are in that time anymore. We have options now. We can pay for those options now.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so like I do understand both you guys completely. I think it can work a little bit better for adults more. Maybe something like during like a Saturday night type of thing, especially like for like a 35 and up crowd. Like this is like our Saturday night lineup. You can like redo like our favorite cartoons. Like you said, like for example, like a Rescue Rangers reboot. I don't think today's kids will probably go out their way to see it, but people our age will check it out because it gave us a great feeling back then when we were children. I
Oh,
would
yeah.
love to
Yeah,
see.
hold on one
Yeah,
second.
go
Though.
ahead.
The question that you got to, what are you competing against though? Because
Yeah, it's
if
true.
you have the opportunity to watch a Rescue Rangers reboot or the new Furioso,
Yeah,
on HBO Max, I'm probably gonna watch Furioso. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's,
but hear me out.
yeah,
Hear me out.
I'm here. I'm listening. I'm listening.
I would rather watch X-Men 97 than
Right.
Furiosa. I would rather watch a
Absolutely.
Gargoyles reboot than Furiosa.
Absolutely. They
You
need
know,
that. I need that.
I
It's
mean,
been
there's
in the
ways you could
talks,
tweak it.
man.
There's ways you could tweak it. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
understand your point of view, but if you bring in the right type of shows and the right type of quality to the
Oh yeah.
audience,
Oh
you're
yeah.
definitely gonna sell.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Absolutely.
So like
No.
it's a coin toss. It really is because like
Mhm.
we switch just the way we watch TV and just the way we entertain ourselves every day. Probably next week will be a new way of just viewing something. We don't know. We don't know the future of technology, but we're just talking about just what we see just as far as recently what's to come. But as far as the morning time coming back with us choosing what to do, that's never happening again. So like I totally agree with everyone. I think we're all in unison when it comes to that. I
Right.
really do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, it has a lot to do with also my mom used to make us get up in the morning. You know what I mean? Saturday morning. Because we, it was like afternoon, like we were gonna be cleaning that weekend. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
I'm honestly a lot lenient with my kids on the weekends,
right.
myself, and I don't force them to get up in the morning and do
Mhm,
stuff with me and clean up and stuff like that.
right.
But I knew what we were gonna have to get up anyway, so
Mhm,
I would be and it was a whole bunch of us living in the house with my siblings and my mom, right? So I knew it was like I had to get up before everybody else got up and got the TV privileges.
mhm.
Right.
So I was waking up early in the morning. Like I was up 5:30 in the morning and
Oh
6
man.
a.m. Davy and Goliath was coming on, and then I
Oh
knew
yeah.
after that, you know what I'm talking, right?
Yeah.
And
Davy and Goliath.
right,
And,
then
yep.
Gumby came on, and
Mm,
then the Super Friends. So
Mhm.
I had to make sure I got up because if one of my brothers got up, they were watching something sports related, and that wasn't my jam at the time. So
Right.
mhm.
there it is. So yeah, and then later on in the afternoon, we knew after Saturday morning cartoons, Kung Fu Theater. Channel
Oh,
5.
I was just going to mention that. My day used to start with Davy and Goliath, and
Uh-huh.
not end until after Kung Fu Theater, the double feature.
Exactly. Yep, the double feature. So yeah, but I don't kids they're just not gonna get up.
Mm.
They're not gonna get up. So but yeah, having a 24/7 channel that you can access some of this stuff, I'm here for that. I am absolutely here for that.
Yeah, and the best part is you can reintroduce your
Yeah.
favorites to your children.
Yeah.
If they like it or not, but you can say this what made me happy as a child, and I want to share this.
My kids love the Super Friends, Thundercats, Silverhawks. They love that stuff. Brave Star. They love all of that stuff, and will watch it with me and watch it on by themselves. And oh my
Right.
goodness, we have our summer thing is watching the retros and stuff, all the good stuff. That's our summer tradition, and we do like a old kung fu theater marathon. So I mean, the nostalgia's there for me, but that my kids love that stuff. So I think that they would that group, the younger crowd, would definitely like it. I mean, yeah, He-Man was kind of campy and stuff, and they were using the same animations for him, Brave Star, and Silverhawks, but that's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
So
Also,
I'm a generation
Silverhawks had
after
the
both of
best.
y'all. What is Kung Fu Theater?
Oh
What?
my goodness.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Mic drop, right?
Okay. Do you want it or do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do it?
Either
All
or.
right.
Or
First,
I can get a
before,
version from
before
both
you,
of you.
Before you go there, I just
Yes.
have to say, you don't know what an intro to a comic
To
a
anything.
cartoon show is until you have that freaking solo from
It
Silverhawk.
was a solo. Okay.
Oh
The
my
guitar
goodness.
solo from Silverhawk
Oh
with the
my
cowboy
goodness.
who
Yes.
flew his ship by playing the guitar.
Yes,
That's how much
yes.
sense cartoons
Oh
needed
my
back then.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Oh my
Now,
goodness.
at 1 p.m. because cartoons would run until about noon.
Okay.
And then you'd sit and then you go have lunch. And then at 1 p.m. you were back in front of the TV and it was all the old kung fu flicks.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it was
cool.
like the same stuff that you would find in Shaolin and all that kind of stuff. You would see. Like I saw Drunken Master when I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're talking about
That's awesome.
flying the Fatal Flying Guillotine. You had Five Deadly Venoms. You had Shaolin versus Wu-Tang. We had all of
Wu-Tang
the
before Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Shaolin versus Wu-Tang. We had my god, the 36 Chambers, Master Killer. I mean, we had all of the classics. And let me tell you.
Yeah.
They were so plentiful. There was so many. Like you weren't getting like rerun. Every now and then they drop a Bruce Lee movie in there. Every now and then.
Cool.
Every now and then.
Respect.
But we had the old, oh my god, the movies were amazing. And like I said, we do this marathon because you can't miss. You can't miss. And every one of the movies, when I my goodness, Five Fingers of Death.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. So and we oh my god, there were so many phenomenal movies that you couldn't miss. You got introduced. You got introduced to the Bruce Lees, the Jackie Chans. You know what I mean? The Sonny Chibas. You got introduced to all of those people that you were like, wow, they were really doing it. You know what I mean? Oh my god.
And to some of the worst voice acting you've ever heard.
Some of the worst.
That's where it came from. Okay, so with
voice
with
acting
the voice
you've ever heard.
Missed it with the lips, missed it.
But you didn't care. Wait, but you didn't care. You didn't care because the action was top tier. Was top tier. And the funny thing is, right? The funny thing is, you'd think that when modern movies came, right? You'd think that modern movies it would stop. It would stop some of the campy. No, we had stuff like the Iron Monkey that came years after. The Legend of Zoo that came years after. And that's why the movies work now. That's why the Jet Li movies work now, is because of Kung Fu theater and what we saw. There would be no Jackie Chan doing some of the newer Jackie Chan movies, right? They wouldn't have worked if it wasn't for the stuff that we saw in the Golden Harvest movies and the Raymond Chow movies. You wouldn't have any of that. So, oh my goodness, Kung Fu theater.
So
Kung Fu theater.
So there's a lot of variety.
It was
okay.
It was everything you needed on Saturday, and that's what I said. Like my Saturday started out with David and Goliath, and it ended with the double feature of Kung Fu theater. And every once in a while, they would throw in the first time I saw Enter the Dragon was on Kung Fu theater.
Yep, exactly.
You know, and it's seeing it edited. Oh my goodness! Like I it was the first time I remember like watching it, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And then I tried to show it to my kids, the unedited version, and I was like, "Oh, this is not good.
You can't do that, huh? You can't.
I can't."
You had to press stop.
Yeah, I was like, fast forward.
Yep.
No, he's playing chess with those women. That's what he's doing. I swear.
Yep. There you go. Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
When I saw the 5 Deadly Venoms, right, and you had like the different characters that had the different kung fu styles and stuff like that, and how the story unfolded at the very end. And for those of you, I don't care, you have to see it. If you love kung fu or martial arts films, that is a must see on your list, because just seeing the different animal styles of kung fu, and then at the very end when you see them like all battle each other. Yep. Oh my goodness. It was it was a masterpiece. It was a masterpiece. And
I gotta check some of this stuff out, bro.
Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If you weren't growing up and wanting to learn some martial arts from that, you weren't watching the shows. You weren't watching them. No. You weren't watching them.
And this came out, and this was before Karate Kid came out.
Oh yeah.
This was before there was a karate dojo on every corner of the street.
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
You actually used to have to go out and try to find a dojo.
Oh, right.
You know,
they're the reason.
There was always someone's like garage. You know what I'm saying?
They're the reason why there's a Shaolin Temple in New York right now because of those movies. Right? Because that crane
I've been under a rock. I didn't even know there was a temple in New York.
Yes. There's a Shaolin Temple in New York right now where you can go and become a Shaolin monk. Seriously. So yeah, there was no. Oh my goodness. Wu-Tang. If you listen to any of the Wu-Tang records.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot of their intros. A lot of their
Shaolin Temple, New York.
Yeah, but that's
a lot of their intros to their music.
Are from from the Kung Fu theater.
Yeah, RZA did this video. I saw it on YouTube where he plays like the introduction of his songs, and he'll tell you what movies he got those introductions from, and some of the musical samples that he got them from. He'll tell you what movie he got them from, and it's all Kung Fu theater. That's where they saw it. That's where we saw it. I'm telling you, man. Oh my god, yeah, it's. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. J. Rue the Damager, Come Clean. That's a Kung Fu theater sample. That doom doom doom.
Yeah.
Doom, man.
Wow.
That right there. Yeah. So I'm telling you, man. That. Wow.
Oh man.
Hey, did you see Grindhouse?
I did see Grindhouse. Grindhouse is my film.
Okay. Did you see it in the theater?
I saw Planet Terror in theater.
Okay. I saw both of them.
The one with the zombies on.
I saw both of them together. So I saw them with the double feature intro. That's what used to happen for the Kung Fu theater. That's what made me geek out. Is when I'm sitting here watching Grindhouse, and I just see the double feature thing that I grew up watching, and I was like, oh. And then it wasn't a Kung Fu flick, but still, I was okay with it because it had that nostalgia.
Yeah. The nostalgia feel on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Speaking of nostalgia and sharing the greatness that is, nerdness and pop culture. You went to Terrificon.
I did.
Yesterday, with your kids. Just tell me about that whole experience. What made you feel like you were a late teenager Years old again.
Yeah, it was really crazy because like you and I went last year and we had a little bit of fun, so I got to re-meet a couple people that we met from last year, which was great. Cool. The dudes at Wayward Ravens say what's up, and I can't wait to be back on the show. So that was really nice. But really what it was this year, something was super different. One, they put the line was all the way outside. The line to get inside was all the way outside.
Oh wow! You had to wait.
I didn't like that at all. I was not a fan. Like, way to make me aggravated before I go in. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the line moved quick. Like, it took longer to get on the back of the line than it took to be in line.
Oh man!
You know what I'm saying? Like, it took us longer to walk to where we needed to be. But what was really awesome this year, Samoa Joe was actually there.
Okay.
Got to be part of the panel with Samoa Joe and listen to him talk his ish. He was talking a lot of ish. Oh, was he talking a lot of ish? He's like, yeah, AEW at any point in time, anyone could win. He's like, yeah. Everyone's 500 in AEW except for me. I got there. And I was like, no, I don't lose. That's not how things are going to go. So he was talking about one of his favorite feuds was with AJ Styles and the stuff that he did in WWE because it was so twisted, and he knew he could rib AJ's wife and she wouldn't take it personally because she never took him seriously. Yeah. And he loved working with Brock Lesnar because he liked to get in Lesnar's face, and Lesnar liked people getting in his face. And as Samoa Joe said, that had a lot more to telling about what type of person Brock was than anything else.
Definitely thick skin, yeah.
But it was really, really interesting. And then of course, just walking through the event, this year the people that were doing the panels were a lot more like walking through. I actually ran into the man who plays John Kreese, Mr. Cove. I turned around and he's in his Cobra Kai gear. And I was just like, what? I'm like, my dude, don't punch me in the face. Don't punch me in the face. Don't rip out my nose. No, don't do it. So that was incredible to watch. But really what it was for me this year was watching the kids.
Nice.
Having them run through and like their eyes get super, super wide when they saw, Deadpool, which was Deadpool Winnie the Pooh dressed as Deadpool.
Oh wow!
My goodness, I would have loved to have seen that.
Oh, dude, it was so fun. Deadpool might be my favorite cosplay of all time.
How many Deadpools did you see though that day?
Way too many.
Oh, I can imagine.
Way too many. And there were some people who were just phoning it in that just like came in like their regular clothes and the Deadpool mask. They're like, yeah, we're just. I'm everyday Deadpool, the multiverse. I was like, shut up.
Cheap cosplay is good cosplay as long as you're having fun. That's all I gotta say.
I think when I went last year, and I think I think I maybe saw one or two Deadpools.
Yeah.
The one thing that was one of the coolest things that I've ever seen was there was this werewolf Wolverine blend.
We saw that one. We saw that one. Yeah, we saw over there.
I think that was the coolest one I've seen. Yeah, I think I still have a picture somewhere, but that was pretty amazing. What I really thought was really cool was there was a lot of like little kids there.
Yeah.
And they were cosplaying. And I thought that was really, really interesting. You start them early, which is dope.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated that. And it was like a family thing. There was like a lot of people and I really, really loved that. I didn't know Terrificon was as big as that was my first time going. I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah, last year was my first time going, and it was definitely a little overwhelming. This year, I was able to touch grasp a little bit more, and I knew when to go into the panels room. Like, I actually sat in on the Colby Smothers panel.
That's right.
Yeah,
she was there.
She was there. I sat in on the Star Trek New Worlds. They actually had Uhura and Spock there, so they were talking. Yeah, they were talking about what was going on. And the guy who plays Spock in the new series, he's actually Gregory Peck's grandson.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I found that out yesterday.
That's really cool.
in the
Very
meeting.
cool.
I was like, yeah. So your grandfather's history with the franchise, did he ever tell you anything? He's like, I was 13 when he passed away, bro. Like
Sure.
we didn't necessarily talk about
Yeah.
Star Trek. He was my
Yeah.
grandfather.
Yeah.
You know, so that was pretty interesting. And just the amount of people and the camaraderie. Now, should be a warning label put in some of these. Like, I'm all for cosplay and be as interesting with the cosplay as humanly possible.
Right.
But I definitely think, especially when there are super younger people there, you should have some sort of like warning label on your like, I am only 14 years old. Don't look at me like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because like there's
right.
some stuff in there. I'm like, bruh, like, you're a child. And then I'm like, oh my God, that's a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
did
a
see some of
problem.
that.
I get that.
last
I
year
get
too.
that. I see what you mean. I'm not necessarily, if I can barely speak, for the label. I'm for maybe maybe some guidelines of what you should wear to bring before that event if it's for all
Right.
ages. Because
Right.
I know there's some
Right.
conventions like for adults. Okay,
Yeah.
do what you want to do. Dress
Yeah.
that certain type of way, but you know you're gonna bring like 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds there.
Yeah.
Have a certain amount of guidelines of what to do to dress if you're gonna do cosplay. Don't get me wrong,
I'm with that.
cosplay is great, but just have those rules and guidelines before you actually show up to the event because you
Yeah.
know
I
what
agree
to
with that.
expect. You know what
Yep,
I'm
I
saying? I'm
agree.
not
I
really
agree.
for like but I get your point because like
Yeah.
some really risk it because I remember going to the New York one, which is crazy. They are some are definitely accurate when it comes to what you see with the cartoons and the comic books, like completely accurate. And then you see probably like 2-3 feet away these little kids just minding their own business,
Yeah.
in their own
Yeah.
world. But kids are impressionable, so I get your ideology, I really do. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there needs
Like,
to be
look,
some type of rules.
if Stripperella is one of your favorite comic books and you want
Good,
to
great.
cosplay as
Not
Stripperella,
against that.
I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
But there's also, that 8-year-old that doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily need to see, your stripper or Rella.
No,
You know what I mean?
not at all.
That's all.
And bringing it back to like anime, right?
Mhm.
Some of the anime we watch, right? My son will look at me. He was like, "Dad," and I'd be like, "I know, I know."
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. Maybe they shouldn't be like shaking like that. I get it. I'm sorry. Maybe the camera, they shouldn't be showing it. I get it. And he's like, now he's like used to it. But sometimes he'll just look at me like, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
I know. Maybe we shouldn't be watching this one. Okay, but yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, and some of the characters that you'll see at some of the at Comic-Con, sometimes they'll be wearing the accurate uniform or
Yeah,
costume
just
of a
like it.
Character
It's
just like
crazy.
it,
Too detailed.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it shouldn't be shown in
Shouldn't at
public.
all.
Yeah, at all.
Which if I got like my family with me, kids,
Right,
like 8,
yeah.
7-year-old, I don't want them around that. I don't.
That's the truth. Yeah,
But
that's true.
you
That's
can't
true.
escape it. You can, but what I do appreciate the fact they have certain centers or sections, which is the better word, just for children, just for families. So like if you don't have a kid, like you're not allowed to go in there, but if you have children, they are allowed to go explore and have their own experience, their own con experience, like which I like because they deserve that. They really do. What they
that's
do,
and
starting to
seriously,
do
like
that now.
my guys are going to be 15 at the end of this month,
Right.
and they got to go out on on their own and be like, yo, I'll meet you here at 3:00. You have 4 hours.
That's
Go
how it
do
should
you.
be, honestly.
And they of course I now have 2 new katana blades in my house. I got a rubber pistol in my house. I got
Oh man.
I got a throwing knife in my house. Now all of a sudden I'm like, yeah.
Oh, you brought this good thing up. They got rid of it. They banned it, but past conventions, from what I was told, I seen pictures and videos. They had actual swords, like actual like swords made as replicas of what you saw, in comic books, sci-fi, anime, and they were costing like thousands of dollars, but they were like actual legit weapons and swords. And then,
Yep.
we live in America, unfortunately, all, the chaos going on. They had to just eliminate that. And I think they eliminated that. I could be wrong to my knowledge, just before the pandemic. That's not too long ago.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I used to actually do security for a con.
Mm-hmm.
And there were swords and knives, but the deal was they were supposed to be blunted, which means they weren't supposed to be sharp. You weren't supposed to be doing anything like that. And I watched this one kid pick up a knife from the table, and he went to go steal it. And he's like walking through, and I'm following him. And I hear over the thing, I'm like, yeah, the knives aren't blunted this year. I was like, oh, I just lost the kid. I can't find him.
See?
I don't know what happened. Because
Why?
I'm not looking to get stabbed at a con. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Easy cut up at
Oh,
local con.
Is that one person who's not watching the equipment, and then out of nowhere, stuff like that happens, sadly.
Yep.
But what I do love, there's this like little section that I love, like they make the actual lightsabers now. So like the lightsabers are like totally, I mean, they're plastic, obviously, but look like exactly from the movies. So like when you put it on, like you hear the sound, they have the same weight as them and stuff. Like it's very amazing what they can do nowadays.
Did you see the new guy? Well, he's not a new guy. He's been doing it for years. But the guy that works for Disney that made the accurate ones, oh my goodness, the guy is.
I think I did break it down so you can just get my memory going.
Yeah, he's this brilliant inventor. He's an older black guy, brilliant inventor, and he works for Disney. And he creates, and you can buy them there now, but he creates these realistic lightsabers, and they look, sound, feel everything like the real deal, like you would imagine. And cool. So he unveiled them like I think last year, but now they're like, oh my god. So if you ever do a search on YouTube, and this guy is a genius, and oh my god, they unveiled it at the last, I think, E3. And holy crap, the guy, oh my god. Like I know I can't afford one, but my god, I would love to have one of those.
Yeah,
I would rent one. That's the craziest part.
That was incredible about going and like seeing, because there was a bunch of lightsaber booths at Tripicon this year, and every single one I'd walk over, I'd be like, "This is so cool! This is so cool! That's the price tag."
Yeah,
I gotta go.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I was like,
can't match it.
Nope.
And I'm not mad at the price because the work they put into it. They put a lot of work into it.
I'm just mad that I don't have the dispendable income for the price.
I get more mad at myself than the creator, because I can't knock the creator.
You can't, but it's
for making a living. I can't.
Oh my goodness. And like I said, I admire the people that have that type of income that could do that.
Yeah, man.
Listen, let me tell you something. I'd have an R2 unit rolling around here.
I'd
have lightsabers. I would have like the Han Solo and Carbonite. I would have one of those on my wall. Best believe.
Whoa, that would be my dining room table.
I would have the best man cave in the world.
Oh yeah,
if I had the bank to get as much stuff as I seen.
My little fake lightsabers on my wall now, and my paintings and stuff, and my little wood map of Tatooine behind me.
Oh man, yeah.
Let me tell you, I would love that so much. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I'm a bit of an artisan myself, and I am gonna have a Carbonite Han Solo on my wall at some point. Nice. I'm gonna make it myself. But oh my goodness. Oh
that'll
my
be
goodness.
Dope. That'll be dope. It'll take a lot of time, but that'll be dope.
Oh, it'd be worth it.
Done right, it'll be worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
What would your medium be?
Foam.
Foam?
Yeah, I would do foam, and I would, cut it out and do, paint it and everything myself. I can do the technique. I know how to do it.
That's awesome.
It's just I'm lazy. that's the bottom line. I'm lazy. But it's gonna happen at some point. It's gonna happen at some point. I'm gonna figure out which wall I'm gonna do, but it's gonna happen. Okay. It's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm lazy. I'm lazy, and finding this was supposed to be the summer to do it, and I just didn't do it.
Hey, maybe it was meant for 2025.
That's 2025. Mexico took the wind out of my sails.
And it was
Oh,
super hot this summer. It was super hot this summer.
Oh yeah.
This summer didn't make a lot of people want to do anything other than like complain.
After we came back from Mexico, we were supposed to do like go to the pools and stuff like that. Didn't happen. My kids were like, no, we'll stay home and watch anime and eat pizza and that was it.
What about the food though in Mexico?
Oh my goodness.
I believe it.
Oh my goodness. First of all, the resort was top notch. A Beer Star selection. It was amazing. Everything, the food was oh my goodness, the buffet. Like they had the other restaurants that you can go to too, but we went to the buffet because you couldn't miss. And it was traditional Mexican food. It was amazing. So, oh my goodness. That's a show for another time. Let me tell you. Oh man. Holy moly.
Actually, I wanted to just jump back a little bit into the Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, of course.
Now, Professor, do you remember the soundtrack?
Yeah.
Do you remember the one that was released with Sublime and Violent Femmes and Gigantor?
I do, and I wish I had it. Because that's something that you got. Oh my, you have it?
We're talking about the soundtrack.
No, it's called the Saturday morning cartoon soundtrack, and I believe it's on your streaming services.
Oh man!
It has Violent Femmes doing Eep Up Ork Ah from.
My goodness! The Impossibles.
From the
Jetsons. The Jetsons.
Okay.
The Jetsons. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because the Impossibles, they were a band.
Yep.
And they had their own music. Oh, I would love to have that. Oh my
and
goodness.
actually Sublime does Hong Kong Phooey.
Really? Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna send it to you.
Please do that. That would be awesome.
That one, and of course you already know about the MF Doom Christmas record.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
I sure do.
Because most people don't know about that. When I bring it up, they're like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "No, hold on."
Of course. What?
I say some people.
First of all, I'll still listen to the MF Doom with because remember he did the the Monster Island, Island version. Oh my goodness! So
and the one that he did with Adult Swim.
Danger Doom.
Yes.
He did.
It was him and Danger Mouse. That was my introduction into MF Doom, and I never stopped.
What an introduction!
The brilliance of an MF.
You want to talk about how crazy and how it kind of relates to Terrificon? Last year we went to Terrificon. We did a whole bunch of interviews. We interviewed cosplayers and stuff. There was a dude who was dressed like MF Doom. So of course I wanted to interview him. So I interviewed him and we put it up on social media. Do you know how much hate mail I got on social media? But like, how could you say you're interviewing MF Doom? I was like, bro, it's a con, bro. It's a con. We're at a conference for cartoons, bro. Like, why are you being so mean to me right now?
Why hate, bro? Like, seriously.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. I wore this. I did the talent show last year with my kids, and I wore the MF Doom mask.
Nice.
I mean, come on.
That's dope.
Like, come on. You have to. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, but people were like, they got so salty. I thought you were really interviewing MF Doom. I was like, how is that possible? He's been passed, sir.
I know, that's ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Everything about the nostalgia of the Saturday morning cartoon, like it brings us to where we are now.
Yep.
Like the fact that, we had like the Mike Tyson mysteries that was mimicking the Scooby-Doo mysteries. I mean, come on. I mean,
I love that show.
Oh my goodness. You again, the what those cartoons brought to us. I mean, again, there wouldn't be the stuff that we see now.
No, not at all. No.
And anime wouldn't be as popular as it was. There would be no Crunchyroll, Funimation, there would be none of that if it weren't for the Saturday morning cartoons.
Agreed.
Because realistically, Battle of the Planets, which was really Gotcha Man watered down, right? That show right there was my first introduction to anime.
Right.
And I didn't even know it. I didn't even know how amazing Battle of the Planets was until I discovered, went to Chinatown and saw Gotcha Man, and now I owned like the Gotcha Man box set. of
Right.
the
That's cool.
original. So I mean, come on.
Well, a lot of people don't really understand that Speed Racer was really their first,
But they need
delve
to
into
understand we're on
anime.
WNHHLP
Let's
13.5
see that.
FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, Easy, and the professor. 3 nerds venting. Go ahead, Easy.
Well, that's the thing. People don't understand is Speed Racer was probably their first dive into anime.
Yeah.
Because that was the different type of style in which it was. And again, you had that incredible voice acting. Yes, Speed. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's fair. So that was my first introduction when
Yeah.
when the Cartoon Network played all the old school shows. They didn't care.
Yeah.
That was when Cartoon Network was Cartoon Network.
Yep.
Um,
Sailor Moon. Sailor
Sailor
Moon was
Moon.
one of them. Yeah.
Then when
So
there was
yeah.
this one show on Adult Swim, it was called The Big O. It was like a Batman team
I
type
love
of
that
thing,
one.
and then
Yep,
like
I
the
love that one.
robot. I think the
Yep.
robot was mainly like his Batman costume. Like he got into
Yeah.
the robot and started just fighting the evil villains. Like that
Yep.
was like my first like official anime like watching that thing. Like Sailor Moon.
Oh,
I mean
my
not Sailor
goodness.
Moon, but Speed Racer was cool. But Big O that really got me into it. That
Yeah.
really
yeah.
did.
Well, for me, it was Vampire Hunter D.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
I love that
Nice.
one. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I think I still have that too on CD on VCR tape. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think I still do. I know I have on DVD. I have on
Viewing
DVD.
party at the professor's. Woo,
Oh
woo.
boy.
You have no idea. Let me tell you something. I
Yeah.
have some classics. And again, it all comes from the Saturday morning
Saturday morning
cartoon stuff.
cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well, obviously, we
Ninja
know we have to
Scroll.
show. We have Ninja Scrolls.
Oh, Ninja.
Bruh.
And a lot of people don't know there's a part 2 called Ninja
Mhm.
Resurrection.
Mhm.
I have both of them, and my kids are like, "What? Anime was like this?" I said, "Yes, anime was like this back then."
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah,
Well, we obviously know we have to do the double feature Kung Fu Theater for P, so we
There you
can
go.
catch him up on all that stuff.
There you
come
go.
on over. I got you guys.
There you go.
I got you guys because I have all
Yes.
the classics. I have them all.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
have them all like right now. So please,
He's like, no,
please.
like seriously, like let's wrap up the show. Let's get.
Oh,
Couple of my
man.
favorites were well definitely Kevin Conroy Batman
Mhm.
animated series. That was
Yeah.
like my top tier when it came to Saturday morning cartoons. Another gem which I really liked, it was mainly superheroes for me. The
Mhm.
94 Spider-Man series.
It's
That
94
was
That
Spider-Man
was a
was
classic.
dope.
Yep.
that was all
a good
classic
one.
for me. And
Mhm.
it was a Superman series. Like I always thought
Mhm.
Luthor was black, but he was
Yeah.
but they painted him like he wasn't. But to me, like I thought it was like this black skin going against him. I thought that was cool. That
Yep.
aspect too. It's this other show which I really liked. Oh, Bobby's World. I love Bobby's World. I don't know if you
Bobby's
remember
World.
Bobby
Bobby's
World.
World. I
Harry
remember that.
Mandel. That
Howie
was a good
Mandel.
one.
Bobby.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
and you can't forget about the old school X-Men. That
No.
that was definitely top tier for me.
Mhm.
When it came to my Saturday morning adventures. Yeah, so those are a couple of my favorites back
Yeah.
then.
See, because I'm a bit older and my Saturday morning was a little different.
Yeah.
But they were still like, again, the classics were like the Super Friends. And it's funny because you'll remember, Easy, the original Super Friends that had before it was the Wonder Twins, you had what was that kid's name? Him and his sister.
Him and his sister and the dog. It was
Yeah, and the dog.
Scooby,
Yeah.
and it was like the Scooby Doo of
Yeah,
Super
right.
Friends.
Yes. So
and the chimpanzee.
Wonder, it was Marvin and the Wonder
Marvin
Dog.
and Wonder Mutt.
Yeah, Wonder
Wonder
so
Mutt?
you had them.
Okay.
Wonder
Yeah,
Mutt.
and so you had them. And Wendy and Marvin. That's who they were.
Mhm.
Wendy and Marvin in the Wonder Mutt. Yeah. And but it was before all the because that they couldn't call it Justice League.
Right.
They couldn't call it Justice League because it was like a little too harsh. So instead they called them the Super Friends. And it worked. Worked. It really, really worked. It was amazing. It was
Apache
really,
Chief was one of my
Apache
favorites.
Chief, Samurai, Apache Chief. And we spoke about this before, but they had that that legal thing with Black Lightning. They didn't want to pay, and forget DC for this. They didn't want to pay the actual creator.
Right.
So that's how they got Black Vulcan. That's how they got that. Same as it was Black Lightning, but that's how they
Right.
got Black Vulcan.
With Vulcan.
But
okay.
yeah, it was crazy. But just pay the man. It was awful.
Just for real. Just pay
I mean,
him.
he was a great character, but then you find out, the real story, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, they cheaped him out. That's wrong.
Well, see, that's what I really think is super interesting, and then it kind of brings us into our next topic that we wanted to talk about anyway. Is what franchises do you feel should have gotten their TV or their movie aspect of it? And I have to say, although
I gotta be a little conductor with this whole show thing. We only got about 5-6 minutes, but we can merge it into the next episode.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
But if you want to tease or something of what you want as a cool film or TV adaptation, you can go right ahead.
I'm just saying, I would like to dive more into the Black Lightning universe myself.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that on the next show. Yeah, the TV show was dope, but the comic was so much better.
It was definitely so much better, and it was timely. It was really, really timely. I really appreciated what Stan Lee was doing before DC, introduced because with his introduction of Luke Cage and Black Panther, and I really, really, really appreciated what they were doing, adding that needed diversity.
Right.
And I remember when the Falcon was introduced in the Captain America comic. I remember the character Snap Wilson, who he was. He was a social worker, and he worked trying to help Black kids in the community and stuff in Harlem. And
cool.
he got that introduction to because it was like a white supremacist group that was down with the Red Skull. And Captain America was, I remember it was this one cool episode. He met up with the Falcon, taught him how to fight and stuff like that. And then he helped Captain America. But it was funny because DC started scrambling. And I gotta tell you, they hit a home run with Black Lightning. They did. They definitely did. They definitely did. So, and then the introduction of the Black Green Lantern, who I actually liked better than Hal Jordan.
Yeah,
John Stewart was a dope Green Lantern.
It was a better writing.
Yes, it was. It was absolutely better writing.
I know a TV show's coming out for Green Lantern soon.
Really?
It's called Lanterns, and it's gonna be Hal Jordan and John Stewart. It's gonna be like a True Detective kind of thing. James Gunn is really definitely remodeling that whole DC universe. That's gonna be coming out very soon, in the foreseeable future, because it's Hollywood, but it's already been greenlit. So I know we're gonna get a Lanterns TV show coming
and
out.
they need to do a solid one. They definitely need to do a solid one because as much as I love Ryan Reynolds, I think the misstep. It was a misstep.
Yeah.
They didn't really give it the attention that they really needed to.
No.
And the story, everything. It was, and then you remember they had I loved it so much when they brought back the Zack Snyder Justice League, and they showed that war between Darkseid and his forces and the Green Lantern that was there. I flipped out. I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is what we needed to see." So I know they can do it. I know
absolutely.
it's possible.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I do. The only thing I loved about that Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie was I loved Mark Strong as Sinestro. I thought he played
he was
real
brilliant.
Good Sinestro.
He was brilliant.
He knocked out the park with that role. He was a good villain.
He was Sinestro.
Yeah.
He was Sinestro. I know this is gonna sound crazy. I honestly wanted him to be Professor X at one point. I thought he could have definitely brought something to that role.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think
I see it.
You see it, right?
I totally see it.
I think the acting chops, his intensity, I think that he would have been a perfect Professor X.
Yeah. Either X or Magneto. I mean, he has
range. Magneto, yes. He
definitely has range.
I really wanted Mads Mikkelsen. I really wanted Mads Mikkelsen for Magneto. I really wanted him.
He could be a good Mr. Sinister too.
He could be a good Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
He would have been a perfect Dr. Doom.
I'm still going with the Cillian Murphy as Dr. Doom. I thought Cillian Murphy would knock it out the park as Doom.
I didn't think about that, but you're right. He
Either
would have
him or
definitely.
Javier Bardem. I think
Yep.
both of those would have been great candidates for Doom, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I'm happy for the Robert Downey Jr. pick. It's just it has to be done right. It just has to be done right. Robert Downey Jr. can do it.
As long as he
It's
doesn't
great.
stay. As long as he doesn't stay.
I agree with that. I don't think he's gonna stay. I think he's just gonna stay for those 2 movies because they don't want to, have him as this whole desperate emergency call when they really need to change around things. Then we need to call him up like that. No, not at all. But I do agree.
Again, it fits the whole multiverse thing.
Yeah, it really
does.
And
I think it would work in that aspect. But at the end of Secret Wars, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
The real Doctor Doom needs to emerge, and then they'll do it right. But I think it works for the multiverse thing.
Unfortunately, it's coming to an end of 3 Nerds Venting. This is volume 4 of this great conversations that we're going to have and future conversations we're going to have. Just talk about everything nerdy and pop culture. Myself, Preston, Easy Blues, and the Professor on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, New Haven.
Can you tell me what This night